So Beyond Meat came out with a new burger, and supposedly it has a meatier taste. I've been dying to try it, I haven't tried it yet. In my fridge, I had a ton of the old Beyond burgers. The not as meaty taste, I guess. But I wanted to stack it up and see how the old Beyond burger compared to the new Beyond burger, and then even compare it to the Impossible burger. Now, for those of you that are wondering, this isn't going to be your normal taste test. I want to compare all things fake meat. So let's see, how does it smell? How does it look? How does it cook? That rhymed. And finally, how does it taste? And is the new Beyond Burger even meatier? Does it hold up? Does it taste like a burger? Is it good? So let's find out, let's get moving. But first, what exactly are these made of? Now, just like I've talked about in the past, when I make my own plant-based meat, all of these burgers have very similar ingredients. So let's find out. In the original Beyond Burger, and I'm not gonna go over all of the ingredients, I just wanna get the base, what they're made out of. The original Beyond Burger, it has pea protein, canola oil, coconut oil, rice protein. So the pea protein is the texture, the round bits, and then the rice protein is actually the filler. It's the thing that makes up the density of the burger in between those round bits. And then they're using cocoa butter and mung bean protein, I'm assuming for the fat, and then methyl cellulose, and then starches and all of that other stuff. So methyl cellulose is the main binder. In the new Beyond Burger, it uses pea protein, exactly the same, refined coconut oil, rice protein, cocoa butter, methyl cellulose, and then the starches and everything. The big difference that I see in the made ingredients is dried yeast. So I'm assuming the dried yeast is more like a dried yeast extract, and that is how they're getting that new meatier taste. The Impossible Burger starts with soy protein concentrate, coconut oil, sunflower oil, and then it uses as its binder is potato protein and methyl cellulose, but it also uses yeast extract. Again, yeast extract is the main meatiness of this. Now, the Impossible Burger contains heme, a plant-based heme iron, which gives it its more realistic meat-like taste. That's something that Impossible created themselves, and you're probably not gonna ever see that on another plant-based burger. So now let's get these open, and I wanna just compare the looks of them. So in all of these scenarios, we're gonna keep the original Beyond Burger on my left, the new Beyond Burger on my right, and the Impossible Burger is gonna be just front and center right in front of me here. So let's go ahead and get these opened up. Original first, and then new, and then Impossible. So right off the bat, the new Beyond Burger is slightly pinker than the original Beyond Burger. And this is actually not even the original. I keep calling it the original, but it's just the second generation, I believe. I believe this is the third generation. This might be fourth, this might be third, I don't know. But once you take a look at the new Beyond, it actually has a fainter color, and it's slightly pink. I like the newer look better. Now, in contrast, the Impossible Burger, in my opinion, looks more like real ground beef. The fat bits look a little bit more like real fat. The texture looks a little bit more like a real texture. The tone of the meat and everything. I believe that this would more accurately represent ground beef than the Beyond Burger, just in its raw appearance. Now, one of the big complaints that I always hear with the Beyond Burger is the smell. So I kind of want to do a smell test. And I will say, when I opened these up, I got a big whiff of smells. So I'm going to try to I'm going to separate these. I'm going to walk out of the room really quick, freshen my nostrils, and then come back, and we're going to start with the original and see what it smells like. Okay, the smell of the Beyond Burger has been something that people have talked about for a long time. I always get the comments that it smells like cat food. And to be honest, I kind of agree, in its raw form. I don't have anything against it because I do love the burger. I think it tastes good, but there is a distinctive smell. I haven't been able to nail down exactly what that smell is. In any of my own tests or any of the ingredients that I use, I can't find the smell that makes it smell like this. I'm wondering if the new one does. But before we do that, I will kind of want to cleanse my palate a bit, and let's move to the Impossible Burger. Now, the Impossible Burger, as far as I've known, I've never gotten comments on it, nobody's ever directed me towards it. I don't believe people have any issues with its smell. But it does have a smell. It kind of smells a little bit like the textured proteins, like textured vegetable protein. It's not a bad smell. It's not an off-putting smell. It definitely doesn't smell like cat food, but it does have a smell. Now, the new Beyond Burger, I haven't had a chance to smell yet. I don't know if it has that cat food smell. I have a feeling it still might. It doesn't. There's really no smell at all. I'm like really kind of getting in there. There might be a slight chemical-y smell. I'm not sure what that is, but it's not bad, it's not off-putting, and it's not very strong. So I think if Beyond was listening to people's feedback, they figured out a way to get rid of that smell. So that's a good thing. So now I believe it's time to get cooking, but I want to season these up first. I want to make sure that these are all seasoned appropriately. I don't want one burger that tastes better just because it got a little bit more salt. So let's weigh out the salt, let's weigh out the pepper, and we're just going to season these with salt and pepper on both sides, and I'm going to heat up my skillet. I'm going to cook them all in the same skillet and make sure that they're all cooked appropriately according to the directions. So both of the Impossible Burgers need to be cooked to an internal temperature of 165 degrees. They recommend a medium heat at 4 minutes per side. The Impossible Burger we're gonna cook separately because it needs to be cooked at a medium heat to an internal temperature of 160 degrees and only is recommended to be cooked for about 2 minutes per side. So the original Beyond Burger released a ton of oil in the pan when it was first put in. Comparing it to the new Beyond Burger, it wasn't even half the amount of like oil and fat that was released. And even while it was cooking on the original side, a lot of the oil didn't get released. That makes me feel like the new Beyond Burger might be a little bit more juicy. Now I believe that also changed the way that it cooked because the original Beyond Burger got a little bit more crispy than the new Beyond Burger. The original also flipped incredibly well, while the new Beyond Burger actually stuck to my cast iron pan. It's kind of rare that that happens, but it stuck, took a little bit to get out. Now, after I flipped it, the new Beyond Burger released a ton of juice. It was almost like all of that juice just kind of all came out at once. And some of the either starches or proteins or something created kind of like almost like a crust with the fat. It was very unique cooking experience. I will say that I like the way that the original cooks better than the new. Now, the Impossible Burger, which is still in the pan, cooks really well. It didn't release as much fat as the original Beyond Burger. It actually released about as much fat and oil as kind of like the new Beyond Burger. The one thing that is neat that you can kind of see, which might turn some people off, is when I stick it with my thermometer, there's a little bit of like blood that comes out. Very unique. That's only going to be found in the Impossible Burger. Both of these burgers do bleed because of their beetroot powder. That's also what's responsible for the color change from pink to gray. The bleeding that is in the Impossible Burger is very lifelike. Very, very weird to get used to. And then look at these. I mean, they really do look like burgers. I'm gonna say that the Impossible looks the most like the burger right off the bat, but that new Beyond Burger is coming in a close second. Baby, what do you think just by looking at these?
Looking at them?
I mean, really, it's so hard to determine.
They all look like burgers.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, this one, look at the blood. That's kind of wild. It's kind of wild. You like the Beyond Burger.
I do.
Yeah, it's your favorite. This is the Beyond Burger that we're used to.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Cheers.
Good.
It's good.
Love it.
Tastes like a burger. I mean, it really does have like a good burger taste.
It tastes like when you take ground beef, you know, and like you put flavorings in it. Like that's what it reminds me of. It's like not just straight meat, but like with like garlic powder and onion when you flavor it. You know?
Okay, yeah, that's totally fair. Everything's good. The texture is really good. It's meaty.
Flavorful.
This is the new Beyond Burger.
Okay. It has a little less flavor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I always felt about Impossible. Maybe they tried to go more towards Impossible.
But you nailed it though. It tastes more like beef. Beef doesn't have a ton of flavor. It's just savory.
It's a little bit more dense.
It is. There's a little bit more of a chew to it. I think it's good.
It's good. I still like the original better.
I do think that some of the off-putting like tastes that people have described in the past that the original has, that you enjoy, that a lot of meat eaters might, you know, feel a little weird about.
It's not in this one.
It's not in this one.
Yeah.
It's gone. Here's the Impossible Burger, and in my opinion, tastes just like what meat tastes like.
Okay.
So, Cheers.
It's still really good. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I think I might like the Beyond and the Impossible than the new Beyond.
That's so funny.
I know.
That's so funny. It's because this has a little bit of a flavor to it. And this isn't a diss towards Beyond Meat, because I love Beyond Meat, but this does have that one flavor, that's that one element that really makes it taste like real meat. But for me, it goes Impossible, the new Beyond, then Old Beyond.
Oh, that's funny. For me, it's the Old Beyond, Impossible, new Beyond. Mm-hmm. Should I take these with me?
Do you want them?
Yeah.
Yeah, take them.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me know in the comments below, have you tried the new Beyond's burger? Do you like it? Do you like it better than the old burger? I'm really curious. The new Beyond burger is meatier.